So Azure provides a wide range of cloud-based services that you can use as components for customized cloud solutions and infrastructure. You have compute, you have networking, data storage, web and mobile. Then you have services like disaster recovery, etc. services. Under compute, you have virtual machine scale sets, cloud services, Azure Batch, Service Fabric, Azure Container Service, Azure Container Registry and functions. And furthermore, other services which you might not see on this slide, but when you go ahead and explore the Azure portal, you will see a lot of different services available. These are some of the Azure provided services. If you would want to work on third-party solutions as well, they are available. So virtual machines, you can create Windows and Linux virtual machines from predefined templates, or you can deploy your own custom server images in the cloud. When we talk about virtual machine scale sets, you can manage and auto-scale hundreds of Linux and Windows virtual machines using that particular capability. Then you have cloud service. In cloud service, this concept was introduced in the first portal. It was a PaaS solution, that is platform as a service solution, on which you can host applications. So basically, cloud service helps you run monolithic type of application which can be divided into multiple layers of web roles and worker roles. Web roles can be your front-end application, worker roles can be the processor managing it. So cloud service basically define multi-tier PaaS cloud services that you can deploy and manage on Azure. You have Azure Batch, on which you can run high volume, large scale, parallel, high performance computing applications on a scaled and managed set of virtual machines. You have Service Fabric. Service Fabric is used to build microservice type of application. We talked about cloud service. Cloud service helped in monolithic type of application architecture. Service Fabric helps you build microservice application. Basically, it helps you manage and build Azure components. It helps you build modern applications, which does not, comply with the rigid architecture of a monolithic application. Then you have Azure Container Service. Azure Container Service implements and manages clustered container deployments. You have Container Registry, which stores and manages images for a variety of container deployments. And then you have Functions, which processes events when there is a serverless code. Moving on to networking. So under networking, you have Azure Virtual Network, you have Azure DNS, Application Gateway, Traffic Manager, Express Route, Load Balancer. So these are services which are mentioned here on the slide. Apart from that, when you go and again explore the Azure portal, you will see multiple other services like Content Delivery Network, etc. other services. So when we talk about virtual network, it basically helps you to connect and segment cloud infrastructure. Talk about Azure provided DNS. It provides you with a DNS domain where you can host and manage your DNS domain without the need to create a DNS server. You talk about Application Gateway, which helps you build a scalable network capability for application. You have Traffic Manager, which is a global load balancer. So if you're hosting your services in different locations and if you want to manage the traffic between the two, it provides you with load balancing for high scalability and availability. You talk about Express Route, which helps you to extend your enterprise, your on-prem environment to the Azure platform through a dedicated private connection. Apart from Express Route, similar functionality is provided by services like site-to-site and point-to-site. Then you have Load Balancer, through which you can create highly available and high-performance cloud-based networks. Apart from these, you have Content Delivery Network as well, which basically helps you to speed up delivery of web content to users through a global network of caching servers. So these services, I'm just giving an overview of these services. Why? Because you have separate dedicated sessions for each of these services, which we will be covering in the future modules. Now we come to data and storage. So under data and storage, you have multiple of services. You have storage, document DB, Azure SQL database, Store Simple, you have Redis Cache, you have Azure Search, SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Backup, Azure Site Recovery, SQL Server Stretch Database. So storage in itself helps you to store any type of data in files, in binary large objects, which is called as blobs, in tables and in queues. If you are hosting a VM in Azure, the virtual machine hard disk will be stored in a storage account. If you are creating a website, the data for that website will be stored in storage account. So any other of the other services that you create in the Azure platform will be stored in a storage account. Then when we talk about document DB helps you to implement NoSQL document database as a service. NoSQL meaning non-relational database, which does not follow the strict pattern of rows and columns. Then you have Azure SQL database, which implements relational databases for your applications without the need to provision and manage a database server. Moving on, you have Store Simple. Store Simple helps you to manage storage between on-prem environment and cloud storage. Apart from that, you have Redis Cache, which helps you to implement high-performance caching solution for your application. You have Azure Search, which provides you a fully managed search service. You have Azure SQL Data Warehouse, where you can store and access large-scale distributed data. You have Azure Backup, which you can see in other services, through which you can back up virtual machines and send backup data to Azure for retention and recovery. You have Azure Site Recovery, which helps you to create and implement disaster recovery solution for the cloud and on-prem infrastructure. And you have SQL Server Stretch Database, which dynamically stretch on-prem SQL Server database to Azure. Next, we move on to web and mobile. Again, on this particular slide, you see only 3 services: web apps, mobile applications, notification hub. But if you go and again explore the Azure portal, you will see multiple services like web application, mobile application, API app, logic app, Azure App Service Environment, Azure App Service Plan, etc. other services. So web application, mobile application, API app and logic app comes under the app service. App service basically integrate and manage web and mobile applications with logic apps, which automate running business processes and workflows. Web application, which deploy web apps to the cloud. Mobile application, which develops highly scalable, globally available mobile application. And API apps, which provides the building blocks for integrating and building new applications. When you talk about notification hub, it helps you to create push notification for application and services. If you all use smartphones, you might be seeing instances wherein for certain applications like for example LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., other applications that you have downloaded from your Play Store, you will see that sometimes there is a notification that pops up which says that please rate the app. That is what we call as a push notification. So push notification capability is enabled by Notification Hub and is also a capability which is provided by mobile applications as well. Then you have Azure Mobile Engagement, which basically uses app analytics and app messaging to engage mobile app users. You have media services, which encode, store and stream video and audio at scale. So these are some of the services which come under the head of web and mobile. Other than that, you have other services that you can see.